Hey everybody, welcome back to the garage. If you're new here and all that, my name's Randy. This is what we call 628 Customs. And as you've seen, we've been doing a lot of modifications to the Slingshot. We work on some motorcycles, we got our baggers and all that stuff. But this is a video that's been kind of coming along and all that. Probably going to get a lot of feedback on this. Probably a lot of people's going to hate this and everything else, but I'm going to cover a little bit about customizing and then being a builder, and then let's talk about the haters and all that. So a little bit of history about me. Okay. I've always been a gearhead all my life. Okay. My dad was actually, he had his NASCAR license back in 1955 and everything. And I did not know that for years and everything else, but he always was kind of a gearhead and all that. So I come about it naturally, I guess, and everything, but I've always been a gearhead. I used to build cars. I used to drag race and stuff like that and everything else. So back in, actually, it was back in 1989. I still actually have the trophy. So it's right there, 1989, right? That was the first time I ever showed a vehicle. This was my daily driver that I drove every day to work, and I drove it every weekend to the drag strip and raced it, hoping that I didn't break it and that I could go to work on Monday morning. So over the years, I've built a lot of cars. I've built trucks and all that stuff. This is way back before YouTube and all this stuff. I just did it for my own personal use, or for my personal preference and all that. And actually, I'm pretty proud to say, like, my last car that I built, I sold it 22 years ago. So it's been 22 years since I had a car that I built, and we sold it. And today, this is 2024, it's still being raced today. So it makes me feel pretty good that, the car I built 22 years ago is still out there and going and all that. But with that being said, and all that stuff, I'm not bragging on myself or anything else. And all this in this video is going to be just my personal opinion. But you got customizers, you got builders, and then of course you're going to have the haters and all that. So in my opinion, somebody that customized something is a person that takes something from its original state and adds their own personal touch to it. It can be anywhere from a car, a motorcycle. It can be a vest. It can be a pair of shoes, anything, right? If you take a pair of shoes and you change the shoelaces in and everything, you customize those shoes, right? So anyways, that's my personal opinion of a customizer. My opinion of being a builder is a person that builds something that's not already built. So you're making something out of nothing. So you take this like a house builder. You got house builders and you got house remodelers. So you take somebody and they actually build a house. They built a structure and all there. So now you got a remodeler that comes in and remodels what's already there. So in my opinion, there's a difference between a builder and a customizer. And then it don't matter, there's gonna be haters. And this is the whole reason why this video is even coming about, because of haters, right? And I'm gonna go over the stuff that I have in the garage that I've personally built, customized, whatever you wanna say, however you determined that, right? And everything. And I probably got everything in here. I guarantee there's a hater on every machine that I have in here. And there's one machine especially that everybody hates, and I can't understand why, and everything else. But we're going to start off with our big wheel bagger, okay? Now, you can classify big wheel baggers as whatever, okay? And everything else. But when we built this about 8 years ago, 26-inch wheels probably biggest you could go. They may have 30s coming out, but we went with the 23 and everything else. And again, I customized this bike, right, to what I wanted. So you customize something that makes it your personal thing, right, that you like, and it don't matter about what anybody else thinks. It's what you like. So anyways, flip this around here. But that's what we call the Biohazard bike. So this is a big wheel bagger. It's got a 23-inch front wheel. Nowadays, 23 is not big. That's not big at all. But back 8 years ago, it was pretty cool and it worked for me. But it is fully customized, right? Stretch bags, all this. I mean, we've done everything. This bike was tore down to the frame right here in this garage, right where it says right now. Tore down to the frame. We re-raked it to accommodate the 23-inch wheel. We've done everything to it, right? Only thing we didn't do, we did not paint it. I am not a painter. So we painted this thing, right? We had it painted. So we took it to the paint shop, told them, the painter, what kind of theme we wanted and give him free reign at it, and he knocked it out of the park. He did an awesome job, and that is actually, it's Crambo's over in Greencastle, Indiana, so check him out and everything else, but he is an awesome painter. It's great. So, and then we'll get into the hater thing on that. But then we also have what I call the daily rider, long haul rider we set up for comfort. So it's just your average, ordinary, everyday bagger, right? Nothing real special, right? New handlebars, stage 2, exhaust, everything that everybody does to a bike, right? And everything. And believe it or not, there's haters on this, right? And like I said, we'll get into the hater thing later and everything else. But we also have a bobber. Now, my bobber is a little Sportster that is going to be a rat theme. So it's going to be ratted out, it's rusted up and everything else. But here it is. It's not finished by no means, but here it is. So you can see it, we got, all this rusty stuff here, my fender struts here and all this and everything. Of course, we got a Springer front end on it and all that. So again, we got haters on this and everything. So like I said, we'll get into the hater thing here in a minute and all that stuff. But we also have this. Yeah, we have a slingshot. Okay? That's what's really prompted this video, is a slingshot and everything. So with all that said, what we have and what we got here and everything, you take the biker community or the bikers and this and that, you're going to have haters on everything. So in my opinion of a hater, what a hater is, there's 3 criteria in my opinion, right? 1, they're jealous of it. 2, they don't understand it. 3, it's just not their taste and they don't think anybody else should like it either. So that's my 3 things about a hater, all right? Take our big wheel bagger. Okay, back when we built this, I wasn't on YouTube, I didn't do this and that. There might have been a few pictures showing on Facebook or whatever we was building and this and that. But then the haters came out. Oh, you can't ride that thing. What are you doing? 23-inch wheel. It's not rideable. Air suspension. Oh, that's going to leak. Oh, you can't ride that. It's going to ride like crap and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. 2 weeks after this bike came out of the paint shop, we was on a week-long trip on this bike. That's right. 2 weeks after coming out of the paint shop, we took off and went on a week-long trip on this bike. Yes, we got caught in the pouring rain. Yes, we got all this stuff and all this shit. Not a problem. That bike rides like a dream, right? So the haters was either they was jealous of it, they didn't understand it, or they just didn't like it. It wasn't their opinion, so it wasn't their taste, so they don't think anybody else should like it, you know? And then you take our daily rider, long haul bike, right? That one right back there. And believe it or not, the haters came out on that, right? Well, that Legend suspension you just put on there, all that money you just spent on that, well, that ain't gonna do nothing. The stock suspension's ride just as good. You just wasted your money. Why would you do this? Why would you change that? Why would you do that? You got all the haters on stuff and everything. I don't even know what all, right? So, going back to the big wheel bagger, right? Both of the baggers. Yes, they have a loud ass stereo, right? The Bio bike, the big wheel bagger, has got a 4-speaker system on it, about 1200 watts, and it sounds pretty damn good. The other one is just a 2-speaker setup and everything. It's about 500 watts, but it sounds good too. So, anyways, people that have a bike like our daily rider, opposed to the big wheel bagger, they do the same thing, right? They do a stage 2 kit. They do a loud stereo. They do all this stuff. But the big wheel bagger, they don't like because of the big wheel. Yeah, there's a lot of funny things about it, right? People compare it to a pizza cutter, blah, blah, blah. Set a pizza cutter on the side, looks like, oh, whatever, and all that stuff. Okay, that's just their opinion, right? They don't have to like it. The person who built it has to like it, right? And there's reasons why all this stuff was built, right? I can go into a total separate video on why we built that Bio bike. I can go into a separate video on why we built the long haul rider, right? And even the bobber, right? And everything else. It's all about personal preference on what you want and how you want it to be. You're not trying to please anybody else. If I was building a bike for somebody else, I need to please them. But since I'm not building it for them, I don't have to please anybody. So it's just a matter of people's opinion, right? So anyways, that comes to the Slingshot. I don't know what it is about a Slingshot that people hate so much. This actually stems from a post I put on my personal Facebook page and everything, and I posted it up there. I said, it's going to be a nice day tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to take the Slingshot out or I'm going to take one of the Harleys. First response, it's not a bike. Never said it was a bike. Never called the Slingshot a bike. Never said anything about a bike. All I said is, I don't know if I'm going to take the Slingshot out or if I'm going to take a Harley out. Automatically, it's not a bike. So everybody automatically just hates on a Slingshot. The biggest thing about the Slingshot, what everybody hates on, is it's a car. Why is it a car? It has a steering wheel. Well, okay, if that's your classification of a car, it has a steering wheel, then your riding lawnmower is a car because it has a steering wheel. Your little kid's toy that he rolls around on and all that stuff has a little steering wheel and they drive it, everything is a car because it has a steering wheel. A steering wheel does not make anything a car, right? So that goes back to the hater thing. You're jealous, you don't understand it, or it's not your thing. You don't like it, so nobody else should. So, I don't know, it's like, here it is, right? Okay? I don't know why people hate them, right? By no means is it a motorcycle. No, it's not. It's not a motorcycle. Does it belong in motorcycle rallies? I would never personally take my Slingshot to a motorcycle rally. I don't think it belongs. Just like, why would you take a motorcycle to a Slingshot rally? It don't belong. So me personally, I don't think they should be at a motorcycle rally, right? Because they're not a motorcycle. But they're not a car either. This thing actually is scarier to drive than a motorcycle. You sit lower to the ground on this thing than you do a motorcycle. We was driving this the other day and pull up beside some car. They can't even see you in their side view mirror. They can't see a damn semi truck beside them. Do you think they're going to see this? I mean, this thing is actually, I mean, if it, it's like, how's this a car? But anyways, guys, like I said, I'm probably going to get a lot of slack over this video. I'm probably going to get a lot of feedback over crap and everything. But what I don't understand is why everybody's got to hate on everything and everything. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not right. It doesn't mean it's not somebody else's thing. Do I hate on stuff? Yeah, I can. I can sit there. I can hate on something. I can say, yeah, that's not my cup of tea. But I can also appreciate the work and all that stuff that they did to it, right? Am I going to sit there and talk bad about somebody's stuff? No, I'm not. If they ask my opinion, what do you think about this? I'll give them my opinion, say, well, I don't like it, and it's not my cup of tea, right? It's all cool, whatever. But I'm not going to sit there and just hate on something and just automatically on a post or whatever. It's not a bike, it's not this, it's not that, and everything else. There's a reason people do the things they do. There's a reason why I built the big wheel bagger. There's a reason why I built the long haul rider. There's a reason I'm doing the bobber. There's a reason I got a slingshot. Now, going back to the customizer, builder, and all that stuff, do I consider myself a customizer or a builder? Yes and no, both. All right? I customize stuff. Yes. Anybody can take a bagger and buy custom painted bags, stretch bags, and all that stuff, bolted on, said, I built a bike. No, you didn't. You customized a bike. You didn't build it. So, you customized a bike. You're not a bike builder. You bolted it on. Yes, you built it. You bought the stuff. You put it on and all that stuff, but you did not really build it. For me, like my bobber, my brake arms and shifters and all that stuff, I actually physically built that stuff. That was just raw metal pieces besides the wrench part, but all that stuff had to be built and made. I had to drill out all this stuff, machine all this stuff, weld everything together and make it and all that stuff work, right? So am I a customizer or am I a builder? I'm a little bit of both, right? I'm not. It's like some of these guys that build stuff that can build and just take round tubing and make a frame and build all that stuff. Now those guys are builders, right? Anybody can customize anything. You can take your car to the wheel shop and have a cut set of aftermarket wheels put on it, and then take it to the exhaust shop and have an exhaust put on it and say, it's all customized. Yep, it's customized. Yes, it is, right? Did you build it? Nope. No, you didn't build it. You didn't make something from nothing and make it into something else. So like I said, that goes back to the house builders and remodelers and everything else. But anyways, guys, again, just take these videos with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate on this stuff. And I'm sure I'm going to hear why people hate big wheel baggers, why they hate other stuff, the bobber, and definitely I'm going to hear why they hate a slingshot. Because that's just one of these things that people just downright hate on, and I don't understand. Me, personally, years ago, and everything, I'd look at them, nope, it's not a motorcycle. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. But when you got health reasons and you do all this stuff and everything, and you get out here and you still want to be in the wind and you want to have the air in your face and all that stuff, but you don't want to buy a Mazda Miata and everything and all that, and you want something unique and different and all that, then I understand it. So anyways, guys, like I said, take this with a grain of salt and everything else. Until next time, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, go ahead and make some comments, whether they're hating comments or whatever. Go ahead and make the comments and all that, but you all take it easy.